Hi guys, today is construction day 32 and the beginning of a new work week. In our last video, we wrapped up that three-part series on how to use and find a realtor in the Philippines. And we did that interview with a local real estate agent. Her name is Alma. And I'll put a link to that video in the description box here today. So that ends the guidance on that particular topic. So now we're going to move on to the house design, how we found an architect, and how we got the blueprint and permits and things like that. So we're going to start working on those videos and get them out to you as soon as possible. So see you up at the work site. Okay, so we're making some progress today on the pool. So I do want to go over, we had one question, and the question was, I see that you guys are filling up the hollow blocks really well with fresh cement, right? The three hollows, I've talked about it several times, and then the chamber in between. But the question was, between courses, how come they're not putting cement? Let me show you that they do put quite a bit of cement between courses. So here's an example, and this is Gino. Gino is one of the masons, and take a look at how much cement they do put between courses. So not only do they, fill the voids and let it dry, but then when they come in with the next course, they're putting quite a bit. And then the hollow block will go over top of the rebar, and then they'll set it on this cement, and then they they tap it down to get it to be level. And that's what they're using these string lines for. They put the string lines here every course, and then that helps them make sure that the wall is level. So hopefully that answers that question. So I've showed videos of how they mix the cement, and then this is how they're carrying the cement down to the work site. So they mix the cement, and then they load it in buckets, and then they bring it down to these little cocoa lumber trays, and then they dump the fresh cement for each mason. And again, this is Gino, and this is another mason, Robert. So they always have a fresh supply of cement at the ready. And then there's another group of guys that are feeding the hollow block. So here's the supply of hollow block. And then what they'll do is they're out doing other functions, but then they'll bring hollow block down to make sure they don't run out. So these guys, the masons, don't have to jump up there and do that labor. We have laborers for that. So here is more fresh cement, and so we basically have a guy mixing the cement, a guy bringing the cement over to feed two masons, and then we have typically one guy who's carrying the block up to the work site, as well as laying them out and having a supply. So it's a 5-man team that's keeping these hollow block walls going, and you can see that they're making some real good progress here all the way around. So that's the two layers, the two walls. And it will be very interesting, because this is my first time seeing a pool construction in the Philippines. It'll be very interesting on the day that we pour the fresh cement behind the two walls. So I'll make sure that I do a thorough video of that so everybody can see that. Look at all the rebar. I mean, it's just a ton of rebar. They're putting a lot of rebar in this pool area, and that's because of the weight of the water, and then of course the pressure of that water outwards. And that's real important to have a real good backfill as well. So you can see they're putting a combination of stone dirt, looks like some broken up concrete in the mix as they're backfilling. So that's the pool update for today. So with today being day 32 of construction, it appears we have our first delay. So we have plenty of sand. So between this pile of sand that's ready to go and that pile over there, I counted approximately 107 bags of sand ready to be used to mix. And they use, depending on the mix, 2 to 3 bags per one mix. So we got plenty of sand. And hollow block, there's plenty of hollow block on site. There's quite a few there. There's another load down at the edge of the property. Cement, we get a delivery every Friday. It's over 100 bags every Friday or Saturday, and they use about 20 bags a day. So no issue there. So it's gravel, that's our issue. So we are officially out of gravel, and I let the contractor know, and he's working on getting some gravel up here. So that I don't think it's causing a delay right now because they're using a sand mix for the pool, but I do know that they need gravel for the beams. So it's a different type of mix. Sometimes they use 3 bags of gravel, 3 bags of sand with 1 bag of Portland. Sometimes it goes down to 2 sand and 3 gravel, and then there's some mix that's no gravel and all sand. So there's different types of mixes for the different types of projects and cement that they use. But gravel is needed for these beams, and there's right now no gravel on site. So the guys have moved off of building the forms, and then that's why you see more action in the pool today. So I'll give you guys an update later when a load of gravel gets here on site. Okay, so this is the first good look of the call it cantilever out of the 2 meters of overhang that'll be in the front of the house. So I've mentioned it a lot in the videos, but you can see now they're starting to tie that larger rebar, 16 mm. They're tying it all into the beams, and they'll be building forms and then eventually pouring that, because that'll be the overhang. So that'll give us some nice shade on that glass. That was by design. I think originally the architect had a 1 meter overhang in the original plan, and I asked could we engineer it to go out 2 meters just to try to get that afternoon sun, because again the east is that way, so you get the morning sun, and then when it gets midday we would like to have this 2 meter overhang give us shade on this glass that's going to be in front of the house. So that was the plan, and the architect did design it to cantilever out 2 meters. So that's a good look. So let me see if I can get a little bit closer down in the middle of the structure. You can see they're starting to build out the rebar, and then of course they'll start to pour. So again, there's another example. A 2 meter overhang. So this 2 meter overhang will be met by that very large beam that you've seen on the pictures that extends out. The beam of the home is not up against the house. That large beam cantilevers out 2 meters from the house and will extend past the house to this column, the column of the fence. And we did that specifically so we could build that little pergola in this area. So this is going to extend out all the way out. That's 3 meters to this column. And that's why I wanted this column to be so strong, and to be replaced, because that is actually the column that was bent, and I didn't want this heavy beam to be resting on a column that was bent, so that's why we replaced it. I'm glad we did, because they made it extra strong with extra stirrups. But this whole area here that's going to come out 2 meters from the house, this will be all under roof going back 5 meters. So it'll be 2 meters out from the house and 3 meters from the start of the house, so a total of 5 meters. And this will be a nice area to have some lawn chairs and be able to get out of the sun on sunny days. So I just wanted to show you the overhang. It's starting to make sense, and you can see how far it's going to stick out as compared to the pool area. So it's 2 meters out from the house, and then it's 3 meters to the pool. So we'll have a 3 meter patio leading to the coping of the pool. So real quick, a couple people commented about masks and safety glasses on the site. So this is their little desk that they use. They do supply these masks to the guys. There's one that's open, but they do have masks on site for the cement and dust and stuff like that. The guys don't usually use them, but they're here if they want them. And then they do have some of these safety glasses here that's available for when they chip out rock and things like that. And again, I don't really see the guys using them. I do see them using like dark sunglasses as they're you know, carrying sand or blocks in the sun. They use sunglasses. But I just wanted you guys to know that they do have these clear glasses and safety masks for the cement dust on site. So here's another look of that rock in that one corner of the property. So this is what we're going for. This is the footing of the fence. We're trying to get it to go level. So he's still working on getting that corner out, and this is day 2 that he's working on this project. And then you can see this is the level we're going for. We want to come here next. Now this looks like rock mixed with some dirt, so I'm hoping that it comes up relatively easy. And then once we get here, we're going to be in good shape, because we'll be able to level this out, backfill the house. What we are going to do is waterproof this wall really good with a waterproofing, but the goal is to taper it down to the fence and then have drainage like we will on the other side down the length of the fence to go out to the front of the house, because it naturally goes down to the road. So we will have drainage back here, but it's going to be hard to have drainage with this, you know, with this large rock in the way, and then, you know, that's still in the way. So we're working on clearing this out, and then we'll eventually get here. And then once we get this to grade, which is basically right there, we get this out if we can, then I'm going to feel real good about having the back of the house on this side. This is the east side, to build drainage to go straight down the fence line. So that's the ultimate goal, and this is going to be the biggest challenge for sure on the property. But we're working it now with Robert, and hopefully we can get it done in a week or 2. Okay, so I'm still on the east side of the property, here in the front, so where the large pivot rock is. So I was talking about the drainage on this side of the property, with all those rocks all the way in the back. So once we get that all chipped out and we slope the property down to the fence just slightly, we'll have drainage coming all the way down this fence line. And then there will be, once this is all filled in and we know exactly where grade is, we'll have a poke through the fence with drainage. So if there is any excess water within the 4 walls, it'll be able to exit out the front. Now we'll have screening over it or some kind of a wire mesh, something to, you know, not allow animals to get in and out. I mean, the hole itself is not going to be very big. It's probably going to be about 3 inches around, but it will have some kind of a screening over it, and I'm going to have to keep an eye on that to keep it cleaned out if it's ever needed. But there will be drainage coming down the fence line on both sides. So not just this side, it'll be the far side as well. And if it ever gets to the point where we get a lot of rain within the 4 walls, that obviously with the house being so high, everything will drain here to the front. There will be a need to have a hole poked through the fence on that side as well as here. Again, probably about 3 inches, and then I'll have some kind of a screening over it to allow you know, the water to flow through, but not any animals to get into the property. Again, it's a very small hole, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. Also, the fence. I want to talk about the fence a little bit. The fence is only 4 courses high, and I mentioned about we'll have steel going across the front all the way to the gate, past the gate, and then we'll also have steel on this 45 angle as well. We went and took a picture. The contractor built a similar fence at another home, and I want to give you a quick photo of what that's going to look like. Okay, so now you got at least an idea of what the fence will look like. Now that fence was about 60% of that fence was hollow block and 40% was the steel on top. We're flipping it. What we're doing here is the block is only going to be 40% up, and then the remaining 60% will be all steel. So basically more steel reveal and less block. So it would be the opposite of the fence that that you just saw. But I wanted to give you guys that look, and Will and I picked that out from several choices, and we like that horizontal look, and it'll allow us to look through the fence while we're at the garden area. Now when we're up at the pool area or even the house area, we're up so high that you look way over the fence anyway, but we didn't want solid concrete fence here in the front of the house. It's just not a good look. So we're going to have that steel horizontal look that you'll be able to see through. I also wanted to show you the how straight this fence is. I mean, it's just amazing to me. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but when you look down, and then maybe I'll try it with a zoom. When you look down the line of this fence, it looks perfect. I'm hoping that picks that up. I mean, really great workmanship, in my opinion, how straight this is.